Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Hager number 5940-DBZ. This is basically a package of sex bolts for their 5100 series door closer, and what you get in the package is for each of the male and female end. Here is the female end. This is the portion that you would insert from the exterior side, or the side opposite, I should say. Not the exterior side. The side opposite of the door closer body itself. You would really drill like about a 3/8 hole for this, and you would drill that through the side opposite the door closer body only. And then from the door closer body side, you have the male portion, just a machine bolt. Those two are obviously going to connect through the door. That bolt is longer because the body of the 5100 is a thicker body, is the bottom line. Okay, so there's actually a lot going on with a package of sex bolts. And what I mean is, first of all, the length of the body itself from the underside of the head, okay, it's about 1 5/8 inches. So in an 1 3/4 thick door, now the reason that it's 1 5/8 inches is because basically when you drill the hole from the side opposite the closer body, and by the way I'm going to measure that, to the outside dimension with these splines are about 0.396 to the outside of the splines. The diameter of the body is 0.375, so exactly 3/8. So the size of the hole that I like to drill, 3/8, you know, this and your hole can't be both at 3/8. So you need to go really, you know, you might need to drill that hole and just work it one time in an oval fashion. But this being closer to 0.4, what happens is when you get that tapped in, those splines will prevent that from spinning as you tighten the bolt from the other side. And as you tighten the bolt from the other side, the exact length of this, when you bring those two pieces of, if it's a wood door, basically plywood, you know, 2-ply or 3-ply or 5 or 4-ply, to make a 5, 7, or 9-ply door. As you tighten the bolt, you won't crush that. Same concept with a steel door. You won't crush the two pieces of steel in as you continue to tighten. And that's the bottom line. This is a 1/4 bolt, the male portion. And I find a 1/4 is the right size to drill for this. This actually measures 0.245. Okay. So, works really nice. Now, in terms of whether or not you're going to install these, well, if you're looking at this video, you're probably buying them to install them. And you would install it onto a door that's not been reinforced, like possibly a mineral core wood door that's not been ordered with blocking. If you were to ever install a closer on a hollow core door, which you'll see, not the 5100, that would be, you could be quite overkill probably for an application of a hollow core door, which wouldn't be rated for nearly the amount of cycles that the closer would be. But obviously a steel door that you are not going to drill and tap. And sex bolts are really used when someone's like, I'm not spending the time to drill and tap, 4 holes or, 9 holes, whatever it is with a door closer and the parallel arm bracket if you're using that, or 6 holes. So people will just say, I'm not drilling and tapping that. I'm going to through bolt it. That's the way I'm going to do it. I don't, So, but be mindful if you're installing this. If this comes in your door closer package and there are other bolts in there as well, I wouldn't assume that this is to be used. You don't want to install a door closer with sex bolts if it's not called out to be installed with sex bolts. And if you're not sure, I would certainly ask someone who has the authority to tell you whether or not sex bolts are to be used, because you're going to see that head 4 times. You're going to see 4 dots on the opposite side of the door closer body. That may not be what the designer, owner, architect, contractor has in mind, so you want to be sure of that. Let's switch to the screen view and take a look at some supporting documentation. So this is the page that we're looking at here. Stock image here. Dark bronze, that's the color. They're going to make this available in aluminum, gold, and dark bronze. Standard SNB, sex nuts and bolts, for a 5100 series. Now it's made for 1 3/4, and that's the length of the female portion at 1 5/8. overall. So be mindful if you have a door that is thicker, or if you have a door that's thicker, the sex bolt will still work. It's just as you continue to tighten that, you won't have the shoulder of the female portion to prevent the door from crushing in. Remember, we're drilling 3/8 for this and 1/4 inch for this, so you won't, that's going to really act as a shoulder on the inside face of the door underneath where the body is being installed onto. And then, of course, you would just change the length of the machine bolt to accommodate a different thickness and your door closer body thickness itself. The 5100 series can be seen here in the product catalog. It's an overview just of this quite unique. Well, it's unique in terms of when you see this, you know what closer you're looking at. This is an LCN 4040 is really what it is, and there are countless clones and copies of it everywhere. And it's done because that closer, is likely the most successful closer of all time. So countless companies have just literally copied it, and that's the 5100 series that Hager makes available. The different screw packages in here, different accessories, different arms for the 5100 series, an overview of the closer, details of what it looks like when it's installed, how to order the material, etc. There's also a link to the template that's probably got something to do with, there it is. Okay, so perfect. This is a great document that shows you the dimensional properties of the item. This can come with shorter screws, and that part number is going to change when you're dealing with a 52, 53, or 5400 series closer, because that body is, maybe 3/8 thick, something like that, and not, inch and 5/8 thick or whatever it might be for the 5100 series. Okay. 1/4 20 tapped hole 1 inch deep is down in the side of here. And they are basically giving us the impression that they can produce. Now I know we can do inch and 3/8 version of the female portion, but they're telling us what that dimension A will become based on the type of closer and the thickness of the door. Okay, so I've only seen these bolts for inch and 3/8 thick doors. They're clearly indicating here with their part numbers that different sizes are available. I would not have assumed that those were available, but here's the chart that shows that. Now, there's also, let's take a look here. 5940, as I said earlier, you can do this in the 5940 can be done in different finishes. Sure, aluminum, dark bronze, gold. Sorry, there's 4 finishes. There's a standard bronze, which would match like a US 10, just a standard satin bronze, and then there's dark bronze. Okay, then we have here, link here below this video to the manufacturer's page, and when you click on that, it will allow us to review not only all of the Hager products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog, and other encyclopedic documents would be kept here as well. The Hager keying service manual is here if you ever need to look into Hager's internal system and structure of keyways, cylinders, types of keys, and the entire platform and science behind their keying system. There's also a 2010 ADA Standards for Accessible Design link here. And why would that apply here? Well, Hager makes weather stripping, and namely thresholds. So knowing what's handicap compliant or ADA compliant for a threshold is why I put this document here. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, this is a common set of sex nuts and bolts, and this video is just to give you a visual and dimensional review of the material. The name Hager is quite synonymous with practically everything for the door opening. The hinges, the locks, the closers, the exit device, the electrified hardware, the trim and auxiliary, the accessory hardware, weather stripping, sliding door hardware, lots of stuff. Everything but the door and frame itself. Hager has been engaged in this sort of business since the mid-19th century. There's no exaggeration. I actually have a Hager catalog here from 1904, and they were decades into business by that time that catalog was published. Any questions on the 5940 in a dark bronze finish, BRZ, or any other Hager product? Bear with me, I said BRZ. Right, BRZ is a dark bronze. No, it's not. It's DBZ. 5940 DBZ. Any questions on this or any other Hager product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.